Right now at noon, court documents reveal the disturbing details the day Athena Brownfield was murdered.
We've got clear skies and calm winds and warm temperatures, but a lot of that's going to change with rain on the way. We'll break it all down coming up.
And climate change, the war in Ukraine, and poverty are all on the agenda at the World Economic Forum.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Court documents shed new light into the murder of Athena Brownfield, a 4-year-old girl missing in Cyril, Oklahoma. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Tanya Bach. Topping our first 7 minutes, while the search for Brownfield's body continues, we've obtained the court documents that lay out the timeline and specific details about what happened to the young girl. We want to warn you, some of this information may be disturbing to some viewers. Last Tuesday, Athena Brownfield's 5-year-old sister was found outside of her relative and caretaker's home by a postal carrier. Court documents show the girl told authorities she'd been home alone and was tired of being alone. Now, Athena and her sister had been in the care of Alyssa and Ivan Adams for at least a year. Alyssa Adams is facing charges of 2 counts of child neglect. Ivan Adams faces 1 count of first-degree murder and 1 count of child neglect. He was arrested in Arizona last week and is awaiting extradition to Oklahoma. According to the affidavit, during a second interview, Alyssa confessed to the OSBI agent that on December 25th, around midnight, Ivan beat Athena and held her up by her arms. He then laid her on the ground and punched her 3 more times in her chest. Alyssa said Ivan then left with Athena's body. When he returned, Ivan allegedly told Alyssa that he had buried Athena near a fence line next to their old home in Rush Springs. And you can read more from the arrest affidavit on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, the KBI is now investigating Monday's officer-involved shooting in Cherokee County. It happened just after 5 p.m. That's when Cherokee County Sheriff's deputies were dispatched southeast of Crestline after receiving a call about a man pointing a firearm at residents. When officers arrived, they found the suspect driving a truck. When the deputies attempted to stop the suspect, he fired shots at them, fled into a field on foot, and continued to fire at the officers. The deputies returned fire and soon located the suspect deceased in the tree line. None of the officers were injured during the incident. A semi crash takes out a power pole, sparks a fire, and knocks out electricity for thousands of customers in southwest Missouri. Now, the crash happened in Carthage last night around Highway 96 and Jack Pine. By 10 p.m., the Empire Electric power outage map showed about 4,200 customers without power, including residents in Webb City, Oronogo, Alba, and Purcell, Missouri. Crews had everyone's lights back on by just after midnight. No word on whether anyone was hurt in the crash. Well, we've got one more day of warmth. Chris Warner joins us with a first look at the forecast.
Yeah, we've got today with warm weather. We even actually have tomorrow with some warm weather. The thing is it's going to be raining while it's warm. So today is the perfect day to get out there and enjoy it. You can see clouds off in the distance. You can also see what appears to be a grass fire off in the distance as well. And these clouds will continue to roll into the area and then overtake these beautiful blue skies that you can see even here at the MoDOT camera at I-44 and Rangeline. It looks great out there, and it's going to be great for at least a little while longer. Yesterday made it up to 66. You'd see where our average high is, and this is what I've been talking about. The last few days we've been flirting with record highs because of how far above average we've been. And look at our low, 48. That's 3 degrees above what our average high should be. So we're in no danger of breaking any record lows across the area, not in our immediate future. We're up to 48 in Iola, 49 Yates Center, and Fort Scott. A little cooler to the north. And you head south, we got 50 in Pittsburgh, 55 Chatopa, 58 Miami and Neosho, and we're at 55 in Joplin right now. And as we go through the rest of today, we're looking at a high of still right around 59, but as you go a little further south, some of us may creep into the lower 60s. We'll start to see the cloud cover increase over the next few hours until we are just plain old cloudy by 8 o'clock, down to 48 degrees. Now there's rain and maybe even some thunderstorms on the way, and following that, a pretty significant cool down as our temperatures start to return to normal. We'll talk all about that here in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Chris. With concerns growing about the world's economy, climate change, and the war in Ukraine, and poverty, they're all on the agenda at the annual meeting of the World Economic Forum now underway in Switzerland. Politicians, celebrities, and protesters are all making their voices heard. CBS's Tina Kraus reports.
Ukraine's First Lady took the stage in the Swiss town of Davos Tuesday, pleading for global help to stop Russia's aggression, saying parents are in tears watching doctors trying to save their children. And she scolded government leaders and corporate executives for not using their influence to do enough to help countries struggling with food supplies, calling mass starvation in the 21st century an insult to mankind and human nature. Actor Idris Elba is using his star power to press the global elite to support the world's poorest countries with investment rather than aid to help fight poverty and protect the planet.
To the businesses, keep investing in mitigating climate change. We can define a different future.
U.S. climate envoy John Kerry says while time is running out for the world to tackle climate change, there's one thing that can make all the difference.
Money, 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 money.
On the sidelines of the summit, protesters are demanding the wealthy be held accountable for climate change and damage to the environment.
We demand a change in economy away from profit-based, more to economy that actually cares about people and the environment.
Those calls for change will echo through the Swiss Alps as corporate and political A-listers meet for several more days. Tina Kraus, CBS News.
The theme of the week-long forum is cooperation in a fragmented world amid the war in Ukraine, soaring inflation, and potential climate catastrophes. That's a look at today's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Up next on KOAM News at noon, honeymooners are changing the way they travel since the pandemic, and we take you on a trip to Hawaii to find out what's different. And later, we're making a crowd-pleasing brisket in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Well, the way couples honeymoon has changed since the pandemic. Not only how long they travel, but how much money they spend. Wendy Gillette reports from Wailea, a community on the island of Maui in Hawaii.
Maui is a honeymooner's paradise with activities like outrigger canoeing, whale watching, and luau's. It's what brought honeymooners Will and Cortland McDougall from Dallas to Marriott's Wailea Beach Resort.
Growing up, I came to Maui a lot, and it's just a very special place to me, and I wanted to share it with my beautiful bride.
The property is in Wailea, home to 8 luxury resorts, including the Fairmont Kealani, which just unveiled a complete renovation of all of its suites and villas.
The Fairmont has found honeymooners are now staying almost twice as long compared to before the pandemic.
Additionally, we found that honeymooners are now no longer coming in waves. They're coming consistently throughout the year.
They're also spending more, according to the honeymoon registry Honey Fund, an average of $4,800 now compared to $3,400 pre-pandemic. Wailea Beach Resort finds couples are indulging in more private experiences like romantic oceanfront dinners and floating pool cabanas.
Through the pandemic, couples have felt like they have been refrained from what they can do, and they want to really be able to celebrate.
That's similar to what Jade Mountain in St. Lucia is seeing, but there, some couples never leave the unique rooms with no fourth wall called sanctuaries for much of their stay. And now those stays average a week compared to 5 days before the pandemic.
There is this new term that was created called revenge travel, and I feel we see a little bit of that influence also on our honeymoons, so maybe we have the revenge moons happening here.
We got special rates at the hotels. With sanctuaries that look like this, it's easy to get any kind of revenge travel you want at Jade Mountain, honeymooner or not. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
Honey Fund also finds couples are getting more in gifts. The average used to be $1,600 before the pandemic, and now it's almost $1,950. Still to come on the KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
Get ready to be surprised by how fast we can make a slow roasted classic. You won't want to miss this one.
But first, we are talking about some rain, and we're talking about a pretty big cool down coming up. We're going to break that forecast down when we come back. Well, the sun is out, the temperatures are mild, and things are looking pretty pleasant right now. But here in the next few hours, it is going to change just a little bit. And 24 hours from now, it's going to start to change a little bit more. Right now, you can see we're starting to see, even just since the noon show began, these clouds beginning to creep in on us here. They were a little further back, now they're a little closer, and they will continue to do so. Meanwhile, MoDOT camera at I-44 and Range Line, now it's looking east, and out to the east, there are no clouds, but if you look back off to the north and west, there are clouds. Right now in Joplin, we're looking at mostly clear skies. It's 55 degrees, feels like that. Light north-northeast breeze at 7, considerably better than the 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts that we were dealing with yesterday. Now, some of us up to the north, where a little more cloud cover's been making it in, are a little bit cooler. We've got 49 in Nevada, Fort Scott, 48 Iola, and 49 in Yates Center. And as you head south, check out Anderson Grove, both at 61 this afternoon, 58 in Neosho, Miami. We have 55 Carthage and 51 in Lamar and 54 in Parsons as we head into the Tuesday afternoon. Still looking at highs in the upper 50s, and as you saw, as you head south, some lower 60s in there as well. Then as the afternoon progresses, the clouds increase. By 8 o'clock, we are just straight up cloudy and 48 degrees. And as we head through the evening, if you're planning an evening out tonight, and why not? There's never a bad night for a night out, right? Cloudy skies continue all the way up through 10 o'clock. We drop slowly through the mid-40s and upper 40s. And then as we head into this evening and overnight, we start to see rain chances begin to build in. And as we go overnight, those rain chances will increase. We'll drop back down to about 47 before temperatures start to rise slowly towards sunrise. And as we head towards sunrise, the rain will increase, and so will our thunderstorm chances. But the good news is we're not looking at this time at any strong or severe thunderstorms. We're just looking at some much-needed rain chances out there. So let's take a look at the future track, shall we? Here we are heading into tonight. Widespread cloud cover out to our west. Here comes the rain. By the time we get into early tomorrow morning, we've got scattered thunderstorms and showers across the region. And as we head toward noon tomorrow, so about 24 hours from now, more widespread shower and thunderstorm activity. But as you can see, temperatures are looking pretty good. In fact, as this system first begins to exit, you can see the spin with the low pressure out here. Ahead of it, we're right on the edge of that southern breeze. So right as it stops raining, around 8 o'clock or so tomorrow evening, we're still mild. But take a look at the north breeze and the wintry weather out there. That's going to start to wrap around as the evening progresses, and that's going to bring our temperatures down pretty quickly. And as we head into into Thursday, we are not going to do a lot of warming. So in terms of the rain coverage in Joplin, as you can see, where the rain chances will escalate quickly overnight and roughly between 7 and 10 to 11 a.m. That's our best chance for rain. Same in Pittsburgh area and same in the Miami area, and you can see as we go into tomorrow, those rain chances begin to drop off significantly as we head into the afternoon. Of this rain, we could see upwards of about ½ an inch to possibly an inch of rain, and of course this will get fine-tuned over the next few hours, and Doug will have the latest this evening. So let's take a look at this. So we're up to 60 tomorrow, then we get cold, down to 33 tomorrow night. Temperatures get cold, but they get seasonable as we've been discussing what our average highs and lows are. We'll get back into the 40s, maybe some rain on Saturday, and that could transition into some light snow. Sunday mornings, we drop to freezing, up to 42 Sunday. So no significant accumulations or anything crazy expected Sunday, but watch out for those slick spots Sunday morning. And then by Monday, we're back up to 47 under partly cloudy skies. So again, it gets cold, but it gets seasonable. These are where the temperatures should be. We're just not going to enjoy it very much because the 60-degree temperatures have not been too bad over the last few days.
True that. Yeah, can't complain about that at all.
Not in the slightest. So now we've got to get used to January and wintertime again.
Darn it. I knew it would come eventually.
It had to come back, and now it's doing it.
But not today.
Not today, winter.
All right, thanks, Chris. We take this time to honor today's four-state hero, Sergeant First Class Larry Wright in the U.S. Army. The soldier hails from Purdy, Missouri. He was stationed in Vietnam from 1963 to 1965. To Sergeant Larry Wright, we thank you, our four-state hero. Need something to wow the crowd on game day or even for your Sunday family dinner? Well, today Howard shows us how to make a crowd-pleasing brisket in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Today we're talking brisket. No, not the kind you find at a barbecue competition. This brisket doesn't require any seasoning rub or long hours in a smoker. The kind we're making today is more of a slow-cooked pot roast, and it goes together like this. This is a fresh brisket, not to be confused with a pickled corned beef brisket that we would serve on St. Patrick's Day. To get this ready for the oven, all we have to do is throw together a basic sauce made from ketchup, mustard, and brown sugar. Now, we take a cup of this and add some water to it and pour it into a roasting pan. We place the brisket on top of that, fat side up, and slather it with the rest of the sauce. At this point, the oven does the rest of the work. Once it's fork tender, which takes a few hours, all you have to do is slice it across the grain, and it's ready to serve. To say this brisket is full of flavor is an understatement, and it's so tender. To get the easy recipe for our crowd-pleasing brisket, all you have to do is visit our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a slow-roasted way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
I love brisket. You can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Here's a look at our 4-state market prices.
All right, we are looking at high still in the upper 50s, lower 60s today, up to 60 tomorrow. Rain and thunderstorms. Once they clear out, we get cold. We get seasonable, though. Temperatures dropping through the 40s, maybe some rain Saturday, turning into some light snow Sunday morning, and up to 47 by next Monday.
All right, what do we have coming up tonight at 5?
Well, a lot at 5 for starters. The seasoning MSG was once widely used, but fell out of flavor over perceived health concerns. And Health Watch, why the controversial culinary ingredient could make a comeback. Plus, details of a new cooking school open in Joplin, and Kansas Crossing Casino announces the start of sports betting. Hope you join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's coming up today on KOAM News at 5.
All right, thank you, Dal. Thanks for joining us for KOAM News at noon. We'll see you right back here at 5 o'clock.